Well, everybody, this is just an old 1920s, I think, Slingerland banjo. Nothing too spectacular about this. I think that's the original hide on it. In fact, I know it is. It says Slingerland on it right there. We can also find hex bolts inside this rim, which tells me right at first glance you're dealing with a slightly fancier instrument. Check out the bird's eyes in that maple on the rim. So that's a little bit fancier too. So this is a nicer Slingerland banjo. It's got the two-piece neck. Nice, good and thick at the heel. I had to put these tuners on here. Not my first choice. It's all I had, but I don't know. It doesn't really bother me to have the 4 black tuners and the 1 Ivoroid. This is a cheaper banjo, even though it's sort of a fancy Slingerland. It's not that great. This won't sell for that much money, but it's a nice banjo. You can see the rim is capped there. But that's really not not why I've set the camera up today. I have a conundrum with this banjo here. So this is one that a collector recently passed off for me to try to do something with. The rim is far more interesting than the neck. So I'm going to set this rim aside. We'll discuss this neck here real quick that I'm not impressed with. It is, you can tell that's an antique neck. So this neck has definitely had some miles put on it. It's an older neck, I think, but you see somebody's added this, in very recent times, somebody's added a rosewood fingerboard to it. They've I don't know, this bone pip with a bunch of, there's this modern epoxy all over it. This sort of ill-informed frailing scoop here that they did. That's added later, and basically where they tried to match this neck to that banjo, this work here is just rough, and it does not match the craftsmanship that's present on this. Also, there's 2 screw holes in this where the neck comes in, and then you can see there's actually 4 screw holes on the bottom of this. Try to make that to where y'all can focus in on that. But anyhow, there's 4 screw holes in this heel. So this is an antique neck that came off of not this banjo. This came off of another instrument. Somebody has tried to slap a fingerboard on it, and they've tried to mate it to this. They did a tolerable job. This had a modern tailpiece bridge and modern fiddle tuners on it, and a very poorly made and placed nut. Anyhow, it plays nicely like that, but that was all modern additions. Nice old neck here. Maybe it can be salvaged and turned into something, but I'm not impressed with that. What I'm impressed with is this. This is really nice. Some kind of, what I think we have here, I think this is an 1870s banjo rim. Somebody showed me, or early 1880s. It's some kind of slightly early-ish thing we're looking at here. When I first saw this hardware, you can see the hooks are hand wrought. Somebody's hand hammered the hook on the end of each of those pieces of iron wire. The rest of it is basically machined, more or less. But the shoe is actually 2 pieces of metal. This piece actually fits into this piece. And so it actually has the appearance of being a bottom mount bracket, but it's actually a side mount bracket. Anyhow, it's kind of interesting. I I'm certain that I've seen this hardware on somewhere before, and the person told me that it had an 1870s patent on this hardware. Somebody else has shown me an 1879 patent for some similar hardware, but it's not this. It's a little bit, it looks later to me. I think this is earlier in the 1870s. The straining hoop, incidentally, is the same work craftsmanship. This is an iron straining hoop, and there's no seam visible on it, and it fits perfectly to this instrument and to these hooks like it was made for them. And I'm assuming that's the original hide too. I don't know about that, it could be wrong. But even the flesh hoop on this also appears to be a piece of iron wire with a hook and eye closure, which would match this. The wood, I don't know, I can't tell if that's mahogany or walnut or something else. But it's really nice wood, and it's made up of these, it's sort of like a modern block rim banjo. You don't see that too much on these older things. So, I don't know, what do y'all think? My plan is to basically discard this neck, and what I'd like to do is make a brand new neck for this, just a nice black walnut, cherry, maple neck, something like that, that'll match this nicely, and frankly be a lot classier than this. Or am I crazy? Am I wrong to do that? And should I try to work with this thing? What should I do? All I can think of to do to try to refurbish this neck, first I would have to strip this and stain it dark to match the fingerboard. I think I could do that, but I don't like this. I don't like the work that went down here on it. So my the nut area is kind of fouled up too. They didn't do much of a job there. So my first instinct really at this point is to set this aside for some other project and to focus on the part of that banjo that I think is really unique and well made and older. I think this is the original piece, and it wouldn't be nothing for me to slap a new neck on this. Imagine just a plain black walnut neck with a square peg head. I could even try to copy that one even. Square peg head, I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know. Thanks a lot.